guys, this is SVK7 here again, and for my first series of videos, I wanted to focus on something I like to call map directionality, or the direction you want your team to go to have the best chance at winning a game. Now, I recorded 22 videos last night, and I won every single one of them, so I like to think that I have a pretty good idea of which direction to go on each map, and so here I'm going to present a series of videos, starting with Lost Temple, on where you want to go on each map. Now, for the most part, on Lost Temple, you're going to want to go to the temple, just because you have good cover there, and it's just easy to come out, pop shots, and get back into cover, unlike the river, where you can just get flanked from any direction. Now, you do want to go to the river if you have a team of completely medium tanks or tank destroyers, because you're not going to be able to jump around, pop shots off, and get back into cover if you're a tank destroyer, and if you're just plain mediums, you can get overrun and outgunned. But over here, I have a pretty balanced team, and you want to go to temple. So over here, in the beginning, I was being pretty stupid by coming out and exposing myself way too much, not really fully well knowing what was out there, and bad things just start happening.
The reason that bad things happen to you is because you're a dumbass.
So I'm starting to play more conservative at this point. I definitely don't want to lose any more health than I already have, and I'm just going to start popping shots at this M103's Cupola while jumping into cover, making sure I don't take any hits from him. Doesn't seem like the greatest player around, so I know I can probably get a lot of shots off him. No problems there. As soon as he's smart enough to start backing down, I'll bounce off the side because I didn't have heat loaded and AP wasn't enough to penetrate that angle of his turret, and so I noticed a lot more start coming to flank me. But again, I'm not going to lose control or patience. I have a pretty good hold on this steps for now. See the ISU shooting at me, so I'm going to get a shot into him. I was lagging a lot because when I'm at home, my Wi-Fi is not that great, so as soon as I get back in school, I'll have no lag whatsoever, which I'm really looking forward to. But for now, did the best with what I had. So, luckily, this object totally misses me, for which I'll punish him by pumping a ton of rounds into his viewport, which is where you should be aiming if you're aiming at all at the front of an Object 268, if you can get close enough to get a good shot off. It's one of the weakest points on the tank. I get really excited thinking I'm going to finish him off, and unfortunately, I bounced right off that front of his gun mantlet area, so teammate finishes him off for me, or maybe I do. Yeah. And I start worrying about the IS-3D, who should have already come up behind me and hit me if it weren't for those players of mine. Now over here I got really lucky that he just tracked me, because a shell from him definitely would have finished me off. Again, and I got really lucky here again. This E100 shot HE at me, and only took a marginal portion of my health away instead of the full 700, 600, whatever damage roll that definitely would have finished me off. So I come back here to help out my platoon mate, and it being a 6-on-2, completely dominated the obelisk and the temple area in general. We had a pretty easy time finishing this team off. So I'm a huge proponent of the temple. Some others recommend going to the river almost no matter what, but again, if you have a good enough team and a well-balanced team, you should be able to go to the temple every time and not lose. Just make sure the other team doesn't have a bunch of medium tanks that can outflank you and do some damage behind you while you're focused on everyone in front of you. So this game was an easy enough battle, and I have another one I think coming up for you, showing you coming to the temple from the opposite side. Now, again, if you can get that obelisk area, you can do some real damage, as long as you don't get flanked or something like that, and I tend to usually do 3 to 4k on here, whether it's a tier 9 or tier 10 match, so huge proponent of the temple. If you haven't gotten that, just go to the temple in most cases. Again, I probably should have gotten killed twice, but I got lucky on that one for sure. Now here we got Matthew Park, iRaisin Smuggler, and some guys from DD and Sparta, so I knew this was going to be a really fun match, so I shouted out a warning, told them, yo, recording, look sharp, just kind of as a joke. But again, well-balanced team, as you can see over there, 2 heavies, 3 mediums, and 2 tank destroyers, and they don't really have anyone that can outflank us. So, temple it is. Luckily, when a team is smart enough to follow you, you can usually do pretty well. So again, I'm going to get to my favorite spot up there by the obelisk and do as much damage as I possibly can from there while keeping in cover. Notice a T-44 over there, so I'd see if I can get a shot off on him, but he backs away smartly. And then I'm going to spot over here, spot some guys, and see KV-4 at 183, and an object 704 soon enough. So I get a good shell into him, and I'm just going to keep working away, whittling away at this KV-4 while I can before I completely get outflanked. So I'm going to take as many shots as I possibly can on him to finish him off. Another tip for you guys, don't try to spread your shots on too many tanks around you at once. If you can possibly manage it, just keep on hitting one tank, because that's going to be one less cannon shooting at your team and at you later on. So over there I went for the cupola again, but I either bounced or missed, don't remember, and managed to not miss the second shot. And I'm going to go ahead and take a shot at this 704, thinking that he still might be around the same area. I hazard a shot somewhere around there, hoping to hit him. I don't think I did, but it's always worth trying to shoot if you're reloaded and think you know where the guy is. Then I see if this 268 is going to try to sneak up on me, and he stops in his tracks. But I will be spotted from all that. And so is this Tiger, so I think I'm going to be clever and hoping the 706 isn't looking at me. I'm sorry, the 704. I'm going to try to put a shot in him, but
Dumbass!
Got hit. So I'm going to punish him by shooting him. And again, really stupidly thinking that I can out-DPM him and that my reload is faster.
Dumbass!
Get hit again. I think I might have hit his gun manlet here, because as you can see, I bounced, but this 268 rushes out of cover, so I'm going to shoot him, and my teammate finishes him off. So, once again, if you can control the temple area and manage to mostly stay in cover and not lose all your HP at once like I stupidly did, I would probably be still around 1400 if it weren't for some of those more unnecessary shots that I took. You can easily outrun the other team and just wreck them, basically. So yeah, lesson learned, hopefully, for a lot of you newer players out there. Go to the temple. And last, of course, as I mentioned earlier, it is a team dominated by mostly mediums or tank destroyers, in which case you probably want to go to the river to make sure you don't get outflanked in the temple or just outgunned by them coming out, popping a shot and going into cover. And yeah, my next video will be on the new map, Mirage, and as with everyone else, I'm still trying to figure it out a little bit, but I'm thinking that I found a really good strategy for it. I'll cover that in the next video, then I'll try to come out with as soon as I have a chance, and until next time, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Always appreciate the likes, and let me know what I can do better.